Here we are, revising a little bit for our end of half-term test. So this is our Year 7 Elements knowledge organiser, and we're going to fill it in, and we're going to think about some things. So, first things first, we have our periodic table here. Okay, so this is our periodic table. Now remember, you will be given this. You don't need to know much about it other than the basic, these are the metals are yellow, and the non-metals are these blue ones. Okay, so you'll know that. You'll hopefully, on the one you have as well, you probably will, you'll have the names. So all you need to do is name an element that's a metal, which is nice and easy. We'll go with iron. Okay, iron is a metal. Easy peasy. Now, a non-metal is one of these blue ones. Okay, now the easiest one would probably be oxygen, although you may disagree and you may have a different favorite non-metal. It doesn't matter, as long as it's in the blue box, you've got this. Now, what is the definition of an element? Okay, it's only made of how many types of atoms? One type of atom. So you've got to say that's an element. It's only made of one type of atom. So your iron, for example, if you have a block of iron, it only contains iron atoms. Okay, nice. Now here we go. What's the smallest particle of an element? That would be an atom. Nice. Now, does this smallest particle have the same properties as the element? No. If there's only one, the properties will be different. The properties are different. Equally, if you have a small amount, a few hundred, you have a nanoparticle. That's in GCSE. Are all atoms the same? They are different sizes, basically. But they are all, we're going to say they're all circles. So make sure there's a circle. Don't be drawing one like a hot dog. Now, draw a particle diagram to show what an atom is and how atoms build up to give elements. Now, essentially, your atoms, okay, are these circles. Now, these should all be the same size. But with this pen, it's very difficult to draw. But as long as they're roughly the same size, you're all good. Probably better circles. Now, you can maybe just write all the same size, because if you've drawn something and it looks a bit iffy, but you meant to draw them all the same size, then just say arrow, they're all the same size, because then you've shown you've drawn them as circles and they're all the same size. Okay, and that way you've covered yourself by describing your diagram. Right, are these compounds, elements, or mixtures? Now, a compound, hopefully, as we know, is two or more different atoms chemically joined. That's what a compound is. Okay, so therefore, is this a compound? Do we have two different coloured circles here? We do. So this is a compound. What about this one? There are two circles joined together, but they're the same circles. So this is an element. What about this one? We have different colour circles joined together. What do you think it is? Yes, it's a compound. Nice. This one here, the same circle, same colour circle, joined together. That's an element. Lovely. And finally, we have two different size circles here, slightly different colours too, joined together. That is a compound. Lovely. Nice. Now we have a little bit of filling in the blanks here. Now we just have to use these words down here. An element is just made of one type of atom, which can be chemically joined together. There we go. Cross them out so I know I've used them. A compound is made, now this is 2 or more, so I'm going to go with 2 or, oh no, the different is by there, isn't it? 2 or more different atoms, okay, those are important, okay, which are, as we know, chemically joined. Good, so 2 or more and chemically joined. Nice, we're running out of options here. Is made up of 2 or more elements, that one, which are not chemically joined. Nice. There we go, halfway through our Year 7 knowledge organiser now. Let's go up here and look at chemical symbols and formulae. Now you need to write the symbol of the following elements. You can use the periodic table if you need to. You'll probably need to. Now, oxygen is O2. We remember, hopefully, that these gases, the non-metal gases, including hydrogen, are always found as pairs. So what's the symbol for hydrogen? Well, it's a capital H. And as I've said, they're always found as pairs. So it'll be H2. Brilliant. Carbon is a non-metal solid, usually found on its own, therefore it's just C. Sodium, have a look for it, it's Na, based on the Latin name because it was discovered by the Romans. And finally, chlorine. Now, this is where we sometimes make a bit of a boo-boo. Got to remember, it's a big C and it's a little L with a 2, because it's Cl2. Now, over here, I've had lots of people saying to me, is that an I? A capital I. It's not a capital I, it's a capital C and a little L, but obviously it looks like a capital I. Be aware of that. Okay, now over here it says complete the table to give the number of elements and number of atoms. So remember, our elements are the capital letters here, so 1 and 2. There are 2 elements in H2O, and there is 2 plus 1, so 3, because remember, in H2O we have 2 H's, and there's no number here, which means 1 O. Okay, no number. X. Nice. Now NaCl. Now let me write over here. Na, that's 1 element. Okay, because it's a big letter and a little letter. It's a capital letter and a smaller letter. And then we have Cl, which is another element. So there are 2 elements. There are no numbers here. No numbers mean 1. So there are 2 atoms. Fantastic. Right, CH4. There are 2 elements there, C and H. And there are 1 C and 4 H's. So how many atoms do we have? That's right, 5. Okay, here we go. H2SO4. How many capital letters do we have there? We have 3. How many atoms are there? Well, there is 2 plus 1 plus 4. Now, 2 plus 1 plus 4 equals 7. Look at that. Nice. This one's getting a bit more crazy now. Look at all those atoms. But we still only have 3 elements. A C, a H, and an O. Now, how many atoms do we have here? We have 6 plus 12 plus 6. That makes 24. Fantastic. Now, this last one's a bit tricky because you've got, due to the way it's written, a C and another C. Now they're the same element, so that still only counts as 1. We've got 3 H's there and 1 H there. Again, that's H's. There's a H. That's 1 element, and we have 2 O's next to each other. But again, 1 element. So there's actually 3 elements there: C, H, and O. Now, how many atoms? We have 1 C. We have 3 H's. That's 4. Another C. That's 5. An O. That's 6. Another O, that's 7. And a H, that's 8. Okay, there are 8 atoms there. Nice. Now, it says, write the formula for each compound. So it says, I have 1 H and 1 chlorine. So our formula will just be HCl, little l there. Ethene is 2 atoms of carbon and 4 atoms of hydrogen. So that would be carbon, 2, hydrogen, 4. Nice. Aluminium oxide has already been done for you. There's 2 atoms of aluminium and 3 atoms of oxygen. That's Al2O3. Now, nitric acid, 1 atom of hydrogen, H, no number required, 1 atom of nitrogen, N, no number required, and 3 atoms of oxygen, O3. Look at that, HNO3. Sodium hydroxide, 1 atom of sodium, 1 atom of oxygen, 1 atom of hydrogen. Classic sodium hydroxide, NaOH. Brilliant. And finally, glucose, that one we saw up there, which has 6 carbons, 12 hydrogens, and 6 oxygens. And there we go. Now we're almost there, guys. We've just got another page. Are these elements, are they compounds, or are they mixtures? Well, there's only one capital letter, only one type of element there. So there's only one type of atom. It's an element. Okay, this one has several different elements. That would be a compound, because several different atoms chemically joined, that's a compound. Now this has sodium chloride and water. That's a mixture. Okay, now magnesium oxide is an Mg, there's an O, they're joined together. That's a compound. We have water, H2O, we have a H, joined to an O, joined to another H. That's a compound. And finally, sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. Again, hopefully you're yelling this at the screen by this point. That's a compound. Nice, right. Finish us off. We have some key words. Okay, now we need to know these definitions. This is important, right? So the smallest part of an element that can exist, which one of these do we think it is? That's right, it's an atom. Substance, let's just a substance only made of one type of atom. Ooh, that's an element. A substance made of 2 or more different elements chemically bonded together. So 2 or more different things chemically bonded. Okay, it says mixture, symbol, mixture, formula. And it also says, yeah, I would say, do you know what, that 2 or more different elements chemically joined, that's a compound, isn't it? 2 or more substances not chemically joined, that's a mixture. Series of chemical symbols showing the number of atoms in each compound, that's a formula. And finally, a letter or series of letters used to represent an element. Letter or series of letters, that's also a formula. Nice. No, hang on. That's a symbol, sorry. I need to read it properly. That's a symbol. Right, fantastic, guys. There we go. Revision. I hope that helped.